There's Mr. Enfuego, one half of the Baseball Junkies Podcast. Before we get the show going, we just want to make sure that both you, the viewer, and the listener are fully aware that this podcast is not intended to provide any form of investment advice. The opinions expressed here by either the host or any guest do not necessarily reflect the views of any sports card investor, organization, and or entity within the sports card market. Any discussion of sports card values in the past or present is not a guarantee of future performance. Two collectors with a common love of baseball cards. A league of her own, Mr. Enfuego. Welcome to the Baseball Junkies Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Baseball Card Junkies Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, from A League of Her Own on YouTube.
And I'm Mr. Enfuego, also from YouTube.
All of you with us live tonight, thank you so much for being here. And if you're listening on your podcast format, I appreciate that as well. The downloads have been increasing heavily week after week. Don't know how we're doing it. Appreciate you
the
all.
love, everybody.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. We've got... we were off last week. I hope everybody had a good Father's Day weekend. Mr. Enfuego, I know I texted you. I think you had a good one.
Yep.
How has your week been since then?
Made it through another one is all I can really say. In my
Nice.
line of work, I just looked forward to every Friday.
I hear you. I hope everybody out there, all the fathers out there, had a good Father's Day. Posted some stuff up on Instagram and stuff and YouTube to try to send the love out to everybody. Yeah, we're back this week. We've got some cool upcoming releases, some cool product reviews, hobby news, all the good stuff for you guys tonight, baseball card related. You got anything else you want to post up in the intro here, boss?
As of right now, nope. I'm ready to get the show going.
All right, let's get some upcoming releases. Pleasantly surprised. Tomorrow, I want you all to know, on Topps at 12 p.m. Eastern, 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball pre-order will be available. If you are into Topps Chrome, and a lot of baseball card people are, it's one of the one sets that you want to get into every year. It's super popular. Topps Chrome pre-order will be available on Topps.com, 12 p.m. Eastern. It will be probably the cheapest way you can get it. It's going, whatever it is on Topps, it's gonna be more on those third party sites like Blowout Cards, David Adams, things like that. So tomorrow is the day. Go on to Topps. You can go in there and hit notify me. It'll send you an email. Set your timers on your phone. I imagine it's going to sell out pretty quickly. I think. That's my guess. Also, later this week, Friday, the 27th, Topps EQL 2024 Dynasty Baseball will be available. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago because Bowman Sapphire dropped. I tried to get it on that. You've got to go on there. You can go on there now anytime. Say send me a notification. You've got to go on there during a certain period of time and get like a raffle ticket. You got to go in there and get your name and notification. You got to try to get in on it, and then they will then email you later in the day saying whether you won or not, whether you are able to purchase Dynasty. Don't know how much it's going to be this year. It's 2024 Topps Dynasty, so it's that crazy checks list. You guys just saw everything that happened with Inception, which we'll talk about in product reviews later tonight. But Topps Dynasty is very high end, beautiful, one card per pack boxes, usually 3 cards per case. I'm guessing it's going to be over $1,000 this year. That's my guess on that.
Yeah, I mean, this
close.
With Dynasty, it checks all the blocks. QC for 1, on-card auto for 2. More than likely, the patch in it is player worn or game used. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it, it's just one of those sets where it's like it don't get no better than Dynasty.
It's one of the most beautiful sets of the year. I have one here. This is from 2022. Way less expensive back then, and I actually bought this. I still couldn't afford it back then. I bought this card off my brother-in-law. He gave me a really good deal because it's not a rookie or anything like that. But I can share with you guys here,
Look at that.
Ozzy Albies numbered to 10,
And that's another thing too. All the cards of this product line are low numbered.
low number, beautiful patches, beautiful autos. They're good looking cards. I know in previous weeks we've shown clips. They were putting first looks out there of Topps Dynasty, the bat knobs, the I've seen cleat cards. We saw the batting glove ones we talked about in previous weeks.
Yeah.
They are high end. It's as high as you can go. They're going to be expensive. They're going to be crazy. I I don't. I'm not saying to do this kind of thing. This was something I noticed with Bowman Sapphire in previous years. Like if you did get on there and you wanted to see how much Top Dynasty was, and let's say you go on there, you win a spot, and you're like, oh my god, it costs this much money. What am I do? I can't afford it. The trouble is, like, if you say, oh, I don't want to buy it anymore, then you're probably not going to get into the Topps EQL thing again.
Yep.
You're probably going to get blacklisted, kind of thing. It's my guess. I don't know that for certain, but they do really specify on there that if you do get a spot, you do need to buy the product that you won.
Yeah.
It's safe to say you can go right away, even before you get the product. I see people posting on eBay like confirmed order and resell it. You'll get more than what you got it for on Tops. Just, I'm not saying that's something people should try to do or anything like that. I noticed that if maybe you're like close to your borderline, oh, like maybe I might have the budget for Tops Dynasty. It's just something to consider. I will not be trying to get into this one. I know this can be way out of my price range, and I'm not into buying product to resell it on eBay personally. Like that, I'm just the kind of person like, I get a box, I got to open it, especially Top Dynasty. I got to see, and it's not in the budget for me. So
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those specific Tops products too that really doesn't get the respect that it deserves. You know, everybody's harping on all the MLB debut patches, and rightfully so. It's for a particular player making their debut. I understand that, but I mean, you can't go wrong. There's really nothing wrong about Topps Dynasty.
no, it's
You know, it's like everybody praises like your transcendence, the triple threads, the all these other big name high end product lines, but it's like, oh, then you got Topps Dynasty. I mean, really, what
Top
is that?
Dynasty is top of the line in my
Yeah,
opinion. I don't know if people think otherwise. Like if you go just go on eBay right now and look at Topps Dynasty from previous years, like there's a few maybe no name players that might there's those cards are still going for like $200 to $500. If you look at Bobby Witt rookie cards in Topps Dynasty, even I've gone back and looked at Bo Bichette's Dynasty and like rookie cards and stuff. They're this it's top of the line kind of stuff.
yeah.
It's insane. So those are the two upcoming releases we have for you guys today. We will now get into product reviews of things that came out in the last couple of weeks. Okay. We took the week off last week. Within last week, 2025 Top Series 2 has been the product that we've seen tons of.
Mm-hmm.
2024 Topps Inception also came out, and 2025 Donruss, Panini Donruss finally came out. So I'm going to start at the bottom and
Yeah.
work my way up. 25 Donruss came out. I did watch some openings of it. You do get 3 autos per box. It is one of the worst products I've ever seen. That's my take on it. That's my personal take on it. I know there's some people out there that like Donruss, and man, back in 2020, 2021, I remember opening and loving Donruss. I loved like the cool inserts, like the comic book Marvel card ones they
Yeah,
had, the Bomb Squad, things like that. It was fun. That was when that was back when if you found a pack of cards or a box of cards, you were lucky,
right.
and you were excited to open something. Things have changed. I've watched some openings of it, and I can't get through. I can't even get through entire videos of it because it's so bad, in my opinion. What I don't. What do you what do you think about
I
it?
mean, number one, it's I gotta give credit to Donruss. They are creative with their card designs. Okay,
Okay.
they're the
Okay.
best in the business, in my opinion.
Okay.
But the thing with Donruss though is no active players, but yet
Mm-hmm.
they still manage to weasel in one or two of them somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Um, I say 9 out of every 10 autographs that you will find are probably of a player that we've never heard of. And it's just, I mean, just looking at that without the team logos and everything like that, it plays dividends.
I
They
feel like I feel like right here, this checklist insider site that I'm showing up on the screen for those watching, like they did stuff in the background to make these cards look better than they look in real life.
yeah.
Here's the parallel list. We've got green laser, hollow laser, like endless. Which Tops does this too, so that doesn't bother me. I don't. And like you said, they're not even they didn't even put. Oh, I guess they have the city right here, Colorado, abbreviated right here. A lot of
Hmm.
open space in the bottom right of the corner. Pictures are so because blurred out logos, different. I mean, just to me this year, this set's the look of it is boring this year. Now I'm hoping that in this preview right here that I'm showing, here's a debut dominance. That's kind of a cool Kirby Puckett looking, but it's still airbrushed out helmet, things like that. This is the hit list, Manny Ramirez card. See, okay, this is one of the ones I missed. The Unleashed parallel, that was pretty cool. But you got your sticker autos here. Like you said, no active players. However, Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. are in it, which so I don't know if they've just like don't have contracts or or how they're able to be in the set. I don't know the logistics of that. I don't care enough to look because the set's so bad. I don't care. In my again, my opinion. Some people you might be all about this. Now, if it was cheaper, if this was like a cheap option to get into baseball cards, I would be about it. But I mean, here's some eBay pricing: $150
Hmm.
per hobby box. I don't know. I'm anxious to see what everybody thinks, and that's all I've got. That's enough. I can't even talk about it anymore. That's enough for me.
I mean,
Don't.
this is probably the most affordable baseball product that's out there. I mean, 150
So
bucks.
what is Series 2 hobby box going for? Wasn't it like 80, $90? Now you won't get three autos, but you're gonna get all the rookie. You're gonna get logos, rookies. You're gonna get better
Yeah.
looking stuff. I feel like so. I'm not feeling it this year with Donner. Every year, every time Donner comes out, it's just gotten worse and worse. And with them not having the licensing and stuff anymore, that could be they're just not putting the effort in anymore. I
It triggers my PTSD every time I see a cool Papa Bell.
don't. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's their favorite one to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about let's go 2024 Topps Inception next.
Okay.
A little bit more of an expensive product. We talked about 2 weeks ago too. The drops on Tops, what it's selling for aftermarket on all the sites. I did. I watched several openings of it. It's a really cool looking, artsy looking set this year. You're either gonna love it or hate it. most of the openings I saw, there's some cards in it that I love. There's some cards in it I hate. I don't like a whole lot of the Easter egg color looking pastels in it personally myself. There are thicker card stock. There are 7 cards per box. You're going to get a couple parallels in there. You're going to get an auto or an auto relic. The auto relics are insane. They look amazing. Wanted to do a shout out again to Hoosier Pulls on YouTube. He got 1 box. He bought a box. He splurged for his birthday, and he got a number to 25 Ellie De La Cruz rookie card. It's amazing. You can go check him out on YouTube or Instagram, all that stuff. He's got great pictures of it up on there for you to check out. And yeah, it was that was cool. I saw some openings on Striker, on Jabs, and then other random channels. I like to go like find like people that are just getting 1 box, randomly seeing what they get. It hasn't been the worst I've seen in previous years. I feel like there's 50-50. There's a good amount of people that got boxes with good stuff. It's got the good checklist. Everybody's like, the Ellies, the Paul Skeens,
Yeah.
things like that. So there's been some some really cool openings of it, some cool boxes, and there has been a couple duds here and there, which is a bummer. For the product being, man, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and I already forgot to draw, wiped it from my memory, but I'll take a look on WaxStat real quick. If you guys aren't familiar, WaxStat's got an app and a website. You can go on and see what the current prices are of products. They like average it out for you, and looking over things like blowout cards, David Adams, all the places that it's available, and we'll see what it's running for right now. I did see the price drop on it just slightly in the past week.
So right now, I'm actually on the WaxStat app, and the average price for a box of Inception, you're looking at $333.
333. Yeah. So that dropped. That dropped a little bit, but that's still, 7 cards, 333. That's going to be cheaper than what Dynasty's going to be. I'll tell you that much. So I'm going to give Topps Inception a B- this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, that,
I feel
rightfully
like
so.
that checklist is what people are excited about, and I've seen some good hits. You get a few dud boxes. Some of the base cards and stuff like that, I can't get on board with the way they look personally, but that's just me. Some people love that, and that's what everybody's. That's what's great about collecting. Collect what you like, what you love. It
Yep.
does not matter what I say. Okay, and last but not least, 2025 Top Series 2. I've seen tons of this because we've got jumbos, hobbies, blasters. Megas haven't come out yet, but those are coming. But fat packs, Fanatics boxes, and lots of it opened. It's looking like the jumbos are where it's at this year.
Yeah.
Jumbos, I've seen lots of good cards, lots of good hits, numbered stuff. That's where you get your money's worth out of it this year. You just never quite know. Striker Breaks always does a great breakdown of price per card and best odds of where you get certain cards out of. Always watch that. I always go off of that. He does all the work. That's a lot of work. I like to go over it, so I like to go over there and support his channel. Check that out. Give him likes, follow him, all that stuff. So he does that whole rundown, and you think, you're looking at it, and you think, oh, this will be where I can get decent stuff for my money. Like, if you've got a
Get the best
budget,
bang for your buck.
100%. But then he goes and opens all this stuff, good amounts of it, cases of all these things, and it's clear to see. And you'll go on other channels too. The jumbos have been great. Hobbies second place. Blasters, hangers, fat packs have just, in my opinion, not been great. Just not great. You'll get your Diamante foils in the hanger boxes, and the Fanatics boxes has the Topps logo, like rainbow foil looking cards.
Yeah.
They're just not hitting this year. They're just not. I mean, now I've some people get lucky and they'll find something, but I've watched tons of videos, and people just getting skunked in that stuff. So,
Moral of the story is flagship and retail is like oil and vinegar right now. They're just not
Yeah.
clicking together.
It was not like when you compare it to how Bowman was with blasters with Bowman,
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole different ball game. It does
Yeah.
not feel the same. Does not feel the same. So that's what I saw there. I did see. What are some cool things I saw? I watched Jab's family open a hobby box for himself today, and the whole hobby box, like I think out of the first pack, he pulled a Chipper Jones heavy lumber. Awesome,
Yeah.
beautiful auto, awesome card. Rest of the entire hobby box was just some base inserts. I think he had one other gold numbered card out of the entire hobby box that was of a player that I can't even remember the name. But I mean that heavy lumber made the box.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That was it out of the entire thing. I can't help but think when I'm back, 2019. I mean, it's we all know this. I'm just repeating stuff over. Like print runs have gone up and up. Things are just feeling really watered down for the most part for me.
Yeah. End of the day, Series 2 is a big, hard pass for me.
I have not even attempted to go try and buy any of it or anything. I've been looking on eBay at singles. I've been doing that a lot recently in the past year, 2 years, because I just can't bring myself to buy. I just know I'm like I'm probably gonna get this box. I'm probably not gonna. I'm either going to get a bunch of base stuff that I might stack up. I don't collect sets anymore. It gets too out of control how many cards you get, and I go back and look at some of the sets I did collect. I'm like, man, half these players aren't even playing anymore. So I'd rather keep. You get to a point where you try to dial your collection a certain way, and everybody's different. Some people love to collect everything, and
Mm-hmm.
appreciate. I can totally appreciate that. I get overwhelmed with all of it, and it kind of loses its luster. So, just my thought.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like you're spending all this money, and if you're not into the retail, you want to go ahead and splurge a little bit, get you a hobby, get you a jumbo. It really discourages you if you sit down, you're excited to rip into this thing, you get into it, and you pull nothing. Granted, yes, you do have your guarantees, but the guarantees are not hitting like you would expect for them to hit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now here you have a $400 box that you just tore into, and you have nothing that you can include into your personal collection. Now what?
yeah, yeah.
It's
Sometimes nothing you can even like at least sell to like try to get money to get
yeah,
something for your personal collection. It hasn't been as satisfying as it's been in previous years to open things.
right.
So just personal opinion there. So that's what we got for product reviews today. We just got a little bit of hobby news today. Let's get into a little of that.
Let's do it.
All right. So speaking again on Topps Chrome, we got the cover athlete I wanted to talk about and share with everyone and get everybody's thoughts on that because it it kind of I'll just show it to you. We got Roki Sasaki making the cover for 2025 Topps Chrome, which if you hear not very much excitement in my voice, it's because he is injured and out for probably the rest of the season. There was a lot of hype on him, and he has had a rough go. I'm not saying he's not a good pitcher. I'm not saying like he's a bust or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a bust at the moment. The moment this is a player that they probably thought everybody was going to be chasing,
Mm-hmm.
and it, he's not the top rookie that people are looking for right now.
Right. He's not even doing any rehab training because for some reason something's going on with his throwing arm where he's not comfortable. So I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen with this kid going forward? I mean, hopefully it does work out for him. It kind of sucks now that he's the cover boy for Update, but he's on the
Hmm.
sideline. I don't know.
Yeah. So, in other news, as of today, Fanatics Fest wrapped up. Watched a lot of videos on that this past couple of days because I was just curious of how it was going to go, and it sounds like it was a hit this year. Way better than last year. It looked very successful. Now it's got a hobby section in there, but it's way more than just cards. There's panels, and there was Tom Brady and LeBron James and Kevin
Oh.
Costner all doing panels. There was some wrestling panels, like WWE wrestlers. I seen Derek Jeter giving out boxes and cards to kids. Travis Scott opening stuff with Mark Rubin, and we saw. I had to send right away. I saw a really cool interaction with Alex Rodriguez and Jeff
Hmm.
Wilson, which
Yeah.
I don't.
Let's
I
just say that they reenacted an episode of Shark Tank, and if it was actually on one of those episodes, if Jeff Wilson was trying to pitch what he pitched at Fanatics Fest, he would have finished his pitch. They
It
wouldn't
didn't
give him
go
a
well.
chance.
It didn't go well. It didn't go bad. It was just kind of funny, almost embarrassing. I thought,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe I didn't. So, so yeah. One interesting thing from Fanatics Fest, we talked a couple weeks ago about the Cactus Jack cards. So those boxes were available from the Tops booth. $450. Is that
Ish. Yeah.
ish? And I did see them reselling on eBay for crazy money. That's I mean, Fanatics Fest is the only place you can get them. So if you wait in line at the Tops booth and did get a box, of course you can probably resell them on eBay or other reselling sites for good prices. Let's take a look. 2025 Cactus Jack. Baseball. Gotta say baseball because there was wrestling too. The boxes are going for. Ooh, sorry, I'm seeing them listed for like 1,500.
Yeah.
So sold, we are looking at about 1,300. Yep, 13 to 1,400 for 2 packs, 3 cards each. Yowza. Okay, another baseball card thing is I saw a lot of these player chase boxes opened up. You Tops lids, or I'm sorry, from lids. It's a Tops lids Mitchell and Ness collaboration. They did these last year as well. You buy these boxes for about $250-ish. They've got 3 exclusive hats in them, and they've got a pack of cards. And you also get a let's take a look down here. A sweepstakes scratch off card where you can win tickets to opening day games, to the All Star game. This is all in 2026 World Series game. You can get autographed jerseys from different MLB icons. All the ones I saw, I didn't see anybody win anything from the scratch off. Mr. Fredo, you saw something. Somebody win
So
something.
yeah. So basically, the a couple of the guys from the local LCS out here in Central Florida went out to Fanatics Fest. They did pick up one of these boxes. They got a Derek Jeter hat, a Roberto Clemente hat, and I can't remember the third one. But the scratch off, they did win a J Rod auto signed jersey.
So that's pretty cool. Right now I'm sharing with you the Lids HD site where they do say that these will be available online at lidshd.com and select lid stores starting June 27th. So you were able to get these early if you went to Fanatics Fest, but you can still be eligible to get these like if starting on June 27th,
Yeah.
the website and in the stores. I don't know if it's going to get priced differently or not. They were about 250 from what I saw. There's lots of videos on them on YouTube. There, and on this site I'm sharing here, which will also be in the description if you want to check it out. Gives you kind of a breakdown of the type of hats you can get. There were some cool hats. I don't, when I do the math in my head, 250 divided by three, but I guess you also have a pack of cards, three with three cards in it. And there's a 50 card checklist here. That all the information is here is on that site. I didn't see a whole lot of parallels get pulled, but they do. It does say there's a green full of 99, gold to 50,
Mm-hmm.
25, red to 5, so on and so forth. And there are some autos in there that are numbered to 10. So maybe I need to look at some more online and see what's going on with that. I'm curious if those numbered to 10 cards are stickers or not, things like that. Way back when they started this, I think it was 2023 when you could go to Lids. I went to Lids and would buy these exclusive hats. They didn't have them in these boxes yet where you get 3 different hats. I'd get the Mitchell and Ness like Tops exclusive one, and you'd get a free pack of cards when you bought the hat. And the hats were, the hats were about $50. They were nice hats, but I wanted to get a pack of those cards and open them up. And now I think this is the direction they're going with that, and it is kind of cool that you have a chance, the scratch off to win something cool. Who knows? But
Now the checklist for this is pretty decent.
yeah, which 50 card checklist of MLB legends. You got some names you wanted to shout out, or you just
Well, no, I mean like for the hats, right? I know on the site when you go down, it has a little button on there that says "View the roster," and it has
gotcha.
a list of the names that are associated with those hats. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they are really nice, like exclusive hats, and like this this top one here has kind of got a satin look to it. It's got Chipper Jones, Fred McGriff, Cal Ripken Jr., Derek Jeter, Mickey Mantle, Frank Thomas, and more. All the hats I've seen have been pretty cool. And if you get your team, like you'll be pretty happy. But you're gonna have 3 hats, $250 in a pack card. Like I'm wondering. I feel like I'm just cheap. I feel like I'm just cheap. That's
Well,
what it
now
is.
mind you, Lids is a top quality. They do provide a their hats are quality. They're top of the line.
100%. If you
Okay.
recall, I used to collect a bunch of hats. I used to go to Lids once a month and get a couple
Yeah.
hats and top quality. But I feel like when I was buying a really high end hat, it was like $50.
Mm-hmm.
250 divided by three, we're in the 80s now. Now, if I would subtract that a certain amount for how much I think this 3 card pack is worth, okay, it brings me down a little bit, but
Yeah.
I just have a hard time with it personally. But don't get me wrong, like you said, these hats are gorgeous. They're awesome. So
I
to
mean,
each
who's
his
to
own.
say that the box th- could be considered like a collector's piece? You know,
True. True.
you've got those collectors that got those weird niches with their collection. So I mean,
This is
anything
true.
is possible.
I mean, I was collecting hats for a while. Um, I can get on. I can see where someone can get on board with it.
Yeah.
I'm just cheap these days. All right. I think it's time for the top 5.
Let's do it. Top
All right.
5.
Here
I'm a
we
little
go.
confused about the list, but sure.
We always are. We always are. All right. Let's get number 5. All right, we have the 2022 Bowman Draft Chrome Auto of Jacob Murawski. We've seen a 7-day increase of 27.3% on this card and a 30-day increase of 157.3%. This card raw right now, they've got some listed between 250 and 350 on eBay. Mr. Frigo, why is he on our list this week?
Well, so this kid, he made his debut this season. So right now, his record, he's 2-0 with a ERA of 164. But the reason why he's on this list is because this young man has made some history in the Brewers organization. And the history that I'm referring to is basically he became the first starting pitcher since 125 years ago who began his career with 11 no-hit innings. So basically, in his first start, he pitched six no-hit innings, and then his second game, he added on another 5 innings.
That's
So
awesome.
rightfully
That's
so.
awesome. Got to go dig through the 2022 Bowman, see if I got this guy. With that being said, let me get number 4 on this, and we'll go over it quickly here.
Yeah.
So Jacob Murkowski makes the list again. That's the 2022 Bowman Draft Sapphire, with a 7-day increase of 49.3% and a 30-day increase of 81.3% for all of the reasons that Mr. Enfuego just said momentarily ago. With that, we're just going to go right into number 3, but wanted to show that those two cards, the Bowman Chrome Auto and the Bowman Draft Sapphire, made the list. 5 and 4. Now let's
Can we
get.
just skip? Can we skip number 3? Just go straight to 2.
We'll go quick. We'll go quick. Rip the Band-Aid. All right, we have got the 2018 Topps Heritage Base rookie card of Juan Soto, showing a 7-day increase of 49% in sales and a 30-day increase of 57.6% in sales. This card raw on eBay, you probably pick up around $13. Why is he on the list this week?
So for the three-quarter of $1 billion man, so far this season, he's got a 3.3 WAR, 16 home runs, batting 256, 8 stolen bases. I don't know how he got those, but his last game, he went 4 for 5 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs during Saturday's game against the Phillies, where the Mets did win 11-4.
Well, summertime is here. We're gonna have the All Star game coming up soon, and I feel like there's a lot of players that turn on about this time of year.
Yeah.
Juan Soto usually isn't one we're waiting to turn on, but ever since he went to the Mets, you know, but it's Juan Soto. He's great, and Mr. Fuego is a Yankees fan, so we're just gonna move on from this one and go to number 2.
Thank you.
Well, I expected this gentleman to be on the list. We have got the 2024 Topps Holiday. I wasn't expecting that, but the 2024 Topps Holiday Pete Crow Armstrong rookie card. This holiday. This is some kind of parallel from it, but they don't have that listed, so I'm not sure which one that is from Topps Holiday that I just showed. But 7-day increase of 220%, 30-day increase of 1,237.5%. If that's accurate, that'll surprise me. Oh, that's saying. See, when I click on one of the actual eBay links, that's saying that's the summer holiday. So, summer holiday
All
parallel.
right.
Pete Crow Armstrong's got possibility of being an MVP this year with the way he's been playing. This is an interesting card to be on the list, but hey, maybe some, raw on eBay, we're looking about $40 for this card, which is crazy. It's not a numbered parallel, but he's playing so good right now. His cards are on fire. That's why he's on the list. Do you have
Agreed.
any other statistics added to that, or?
Like you said, this kid has been tearing it up all season. So right now, he has a 4.4 WAR. He's got 21 dingers already, batting 270, 23 stolen bases with a 871 OPS. Now, the highlight for him was on yesterday's game against the Mariners. He actually went 2 for 4 with a double, a solo home run, and an additional run in that game where the Cubs actually beat the Mariners. So
Nice.
the kid's got some skills.
All right. All right. Okay, it's time for number one. It's time for number one. I'll just say that. Here we go. So this is the 2025 Bowman Chrome Prospect Auto of Ditter Fuentes. 7-day increase of 126.9%, 30-day increase of 238.7%. My friend's daughter, when I went and bought the Bowman Chrome blasters, she pulled this auto. That's as exciting as I can get for this because this I'll let you talk about why he's on the list
But
this
what
week.
is his stuff going for that caused him to be on this list, though? I'm just curious.
That's what I'm wondering. He got called up. He did have
Right.
his
I mean,
debut.
what is he going for right now? What is the market call
$60
asking?
raw for
How
this card.
much?
$60 raw for this card.
Wow.
Yeah, this is it's not it's not the numbered one. This is the base Chrome Auto, $60. So
Okay.
so he had his debut.
He did have his debut. The
It
debut
could
did not go well.
it could have gone better.
It could have. I mean, right now he is 0-1. His ERA is over 7. He's pitched 5 innings with a total of 3 strikeouts. Now, uh on his loss after throwing 5 innings, basically he allowed 4 runs on 6 hits with a walk while only striking out 3 on Friday's 6-2 loss to the Marlins.
So here's what I'm thinking. He was probably freaking outstanding in the minor leagues. He got called up, of course. 2020. His Bowman first card is in 2025.
Hmm.
Let's. It was his first day in the bigs. Maybe he was nervous. Let's give him at least a couple more starts and see how things go. Because I got jumped on a couple like when we talked about Jack Caglione a couple weeks, and like he's doing better. But I
Yeah.
did see his. I'm not going to say anything else. Let's give him a few more days. He just got called up. He just had his debut. Let's give him some time. He's number one. He was number one on our list this week for card sales. So that's what I got. Banter time, sir.
Let's do it, banter.
It is time for Baseball Card Junkies banter. All right. Fun stories this week. A collector discovered a one-of-one Miguel Cabrera card inside of a Goodwill binder. This is a really random story that I found that I thought was really cool because if you think about when you're hunting for cards and you happen to come across stuff in Goodwill, this is like a dream come true right
Yeah.
here. Have you ever had an experience like this? Have you ever been card hunting anywhere and found something cool?
I've
That
actually gone to a flea market back in New York a couple of years ago, and
okay.
I managed to find a auto of what was his name? Jesus, can't even remember his name. But he was an old Yankee,
Cool.
and mind you, the condition was not the greatest because when you go to antique stores or flea markets or anything like that, they tend to throw the cards in basically like a bucket, if you will, or a basket, unless they're in those 9 pocket sleeves inside those binders. But I was sifting through the bucket and everything, and I found this particular auto, and it looked like somebody's been chewing on it. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm like, and I was able to negotiate the price down. The dude wanted what was it, like 5 for like a buck. So I just had 2 of them. I was like, hey man, I'll give you a quarter for these 2.
Nice.
And it was kind of surprising that he wouldn't settle for just a quarter.
Oh no.
No, he would.
Really?
So I ended up paying 75 cents, and I'm
Oh
like,
man. broke the bank,
it is what it is. But
man.
no, in all honesty though, it's like you will find those diamonds in the rough in the least expected places, and it just gives you that adrenaline rush. Like you don't have to go out to a card show or these online markets, spend $400 on something where you could just go to flea market, antique shop, whatever, and you
Garage
save
sales.
yourself. Yeah, you saved all that money because you found something probably just as good, maybe better, in a place you would not expect for it to be.
100%. You can barely see in my screen up here. There's a hat that came from Goodwill for a quarter here. I did a video on it a long time ago.
Hmm.
It's got a Nolan Ryan autograph on it, and it had the authenticity like paperwork shoved in the bill, kind of like in the back of the hat. I just love stuff like this, and I also have to say, because this is a Miguel Cabrera card, I just want to do a shout out to Lisa, who passed away this past year, late 2024. She was a big Miggy Cabrera like fan, and she was the one of the coolest people in this community, like this YouTube community of baseball cards. And so I can't see something like this without thinking about her.
Yeah.
So wanted to shout out to her, and I had to bring the story because this is the kind of baseball card collecting I love. Like
Hmm.
going to a Goodwill, or like you said, garage sales or flea markets, and going like scrolling through stuff that somebody's forgotten about, or it
Right.
might be a collection that somebody inherited and didn't know anything about cards, kind of thing. And finding something like this, way freaking cool. Love it.
Yes.
So, okay, what else do we got? What else do we got? Oh my God, I want to talk about Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants this week and kind of tie the hobby in with it. Now, my brother-in-law is a big Boston Red Sox fan, and when this news broke, my heart broke for him. I'm an I'm an athletics fan, but second place is going to be the Giants. That's my mom's favorite team. Like, I mean, you're in the Bay Area. It's always A's Giants. The teams are so close together. You always had like kind of a love for the other. So if like the A's weren't doing good that well and the Giants were doing well, that's kind of how it rolled. So when I heard Devers was going to the Giants, I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. They've been needing a big bat.
Hmm.
My brother-in-law, I felt bad because with what the Red Sox have been doing in the past several years, like I wasn't expecting it. Devers had that contact. But anyway, let's bring this back into the hot. Later that day, my brother-in-law texted me. He had all of them. Rafael Devers. So sometimes he send them all to all. He's like, I was never supposed to Red Sox players when they've already retired. So I'm thinking what other people do. As an athletic player, uh, I expected my players to go somewhere else. It would not affect me. And I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties, I guess, with my mic.
No, we're good now. We're
We're
good
good
now.
now.
Yep.
Okay, making sure. I expected my A's players to go elsewhere. That's just the way it's been for the past, decade. I've got cool Matt Olson cards. I've got cool Matt Chapman cards, Sean Murphy cards, and I just, to me, I like just because I know how my team was for so long, I knew that they were going to end up other places if they were playing well. It's just the way it is. It's like I almost wanted it for them in a way because I knew they were going to get treated better.
Yeah.
An A's player. The whole owner of that team like makes me sick, so didn't bother me as much. Now Red Sox, I mean, the past few years, like Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, now Rafael Devers, like what? And it's the Red Sox. Like, what are we doing here?
Well,
So
I mean, the Red Sox is known for making knuckleheaded trades like that. I mean, let's go back to when baseball was in its premature stages, how they just basically gave away Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's like the biggest one of all time, right?
yep. And then fast forward, they got rid of Mookie, they got rid of Xander, now they got rid of Devers. So it's like, who's next?
That's what I'm curious. People comment in this video or right now if you're live, like, how do y'all feel when your team trades away a good player? What do you guys think? The Devers one hurt because like he had signed a contract. They were going to keep Devers. And then I think about the Cleveland Guardians, how Jose Ramirez like stayed with them, like how that must mean a lot to that. So, I don't know. I'm really curious about how people feel about all of that. To me, not a big deal. Some people are like, that's the end of it. I'm not collecting players unless they retire from my team. Things like that. It was interesting. It was that trade was crazy. That trade was crazy. Shocked me.
Unless you have those instances, kind of like what we talked about before we actually kicked the show off, where you can be that person who has your favorite team and a player that you've been watching for quite some time doesn't really play for that team, but then it's like a dream come true when your team actually does pick that player up.
You that's your story right
Yeah.
there. That's cool. Like as a you're an Alex Rodriguez fan, you
Mm-hmm.
watched him come up, you saw him go to the Mariners, you're like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
Be cool if he came to the Yankees and he goes to the Rangers and you're like, and then he ends up on your team. That's way cool.
Yeah.
I have never I guess I was too young. Ricky Henderson's my favorite player of all time, but the whole A's to Yankees, I was way too young for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think when that all happened, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and those later A's, like when I'm 8, 9, 10, when they won the World Series in 1989 against the Giants, that was huge. That stuck in my mind. So
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have felt earlier on if I was an A's fan. Ricky Henderson goes to the Yankees and comes back. If I'm like bummed and then pumped, or I don't know. I'm just maybe there's somebody out there that's younger or that's older than me that has a thought on that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So, all right. Next for the banter, we saw this article on Collect that we wanted to share with everyone, get their thoughts. The 5 innovations that changed sport cards from refractors to insert autos. Recently, Michael Rubin from Fanatics said that the rookie debut patch was the greatest invention in hobby history, which, wow, bold statement. Definitely, I mean, it's definitely a huge impact in baseball cards because look at what they're selling at. Like, I almost feel like it's the whole like logo man thing with
Mm-hmm.
basketball cards. Like you got that patch, you got an auto on it. That's what I mean. The autograph on it, and then the patch that they actually wore on their debut. Where I
Yeah.
know sometimes some of those logo mans weren't even worn by the player. I think, but I don't know anything about basketball or logo man thing, so I'm not going to go into that. But the rookie debut patch is a crazy thing in baseball cards. I think to say like I don't know if the greatest invention is the word, but hey, it could be. Let me know your
I mean,
thoughts in the
that's his
comments.
opinion. I mean, me personally, I don't really see the hype for an MLB patch. You know,
Other than how much it's worth, right?
yeah. Besides the fact of it, they got it. I mean, look at the Paul Skeens debut patch. It went
Yeah,
for $1.1 million.
yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah,
they had that on display at Fanatics
yeah,
Fest. Like
yeah.
it's a museum piece now. Like I don't know. I would be excited to pull one because I'd be selling it right away. Unless right now, unless it was Jacob Wilson, that's when I'd probably be like I'd be like that would be my PC. I
Right.
would be like, I'm done. I don't need to collect anymore. It's never going to get bigger than this, I think. So,
Hmm.
with that being said, let's talk about some other innovations. You know, number one on the list, pack inserted autographs. That's huge. When they started doing that, that like changed the game with collecting for me. Like, whoa, I can pull an autograph of a player out of card. Like, you know, it's gone like this over the past years because of how players sign, whether it's the actual player signing or not. Which
Mm-hmm.
there you go down through a whole nother like alley with that. But when it first came out, pack inserted autos, which the earliest I can remember is that the Mickey Mantle and Ken Griffey Jr. card in, oh my god, I can't think of the set right now, but it's kind of like the painted like it's probably Diamond King, it's probably Donruss that came out of. Or the Cal Ripken Jr. Elite Series one also. Those are the earliest I remember, and it's like that was intense.
Yeah.
Game used memorabilia. I do remember when I pulled my first like patch now it's not. I feel like the memorabilia cards now I don't get as excited when I see them because some of them are blah. You get the napkin pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But when it first came out and you got a piece and it said it was game worn memorabilia, like
Right.
I was like, whoa, you just think it's cool. If you got something with a little bit of dirt on it, it's still to this day way more cooler if it's got dirt on it.
Yeah.
I do think that was game changer when they started doing that. The rookie debut patch is an elevated level of that. If you think about it, like I do notice when I see baseball games when the players are wearing that patch, I do always see a shot where they try to zoom in on that patch,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, they're trying to make sure they got that photo match shot there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I will say though, just to piggyback off what you're saying, the game used memorabilia has been making some serious noise because it started out with, you know, regular uniforms. Then it went to bats. Then you'll see a sprinkle of the baseball. Okay. Now we're looking at cleats. I mean, not to sound grotesque or whatnot, but what's next? Are we gonna see game used jock straps?
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that, but you never
I
know.
mean,
Those cleat cards, though, I've seen some of those get pulled. I've seen some of those on eBay, and like those are
yes,
like super thick, like crazy cards. They're kind of cool, and we just that whole the bat knob and like the gloves, like batting gloves.
yeah,
It's keeps getting cooler and cooler. Yeah, autographed jock straps might be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Refractors and parallels in the late '80s, early '90s when this started, parallels and refractors and stuff. The first that comes to mind is 1993, like Topps Finest, the refractor. That was huge. That was a whole nother thing. Like, oh, you pull a card and you're like, whoa, you got that wow effect. You're like, whoa, it's shiny, it's
Yeah.
rainbowy.
Now the
And this,
number parallels back then, though, yeah, it was a bit much back then. You know, get this Frank Thomas out of 2,999.
yeah, yep, I've got my Ricky Henderson Elite Series up there. I think it's numbered to 7,500. Maybe it's numbered to 10,000. I can't remember. So they're numbered, and you're like, oh, it's cool, it's numbered. But when you look at the number, you're like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like that's a little bit much. Things have escalated to crazy levels these days with all the different parallels.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about it. We had a good conversation about it before the podcast today about how it's not as exciting anymore because they've made so many of them. If you get a good parallel of a good player, yeah, it's always going to be exciting. But when you're opening packs and you get the zebra print of Joe Schmo that's only played 2 games in the
Yeah.
you know, so this definitely did change the hobby, and now this is something that I feel like they've watered down a lot, and it's not as exciting unless you get one of those low number 50 gold, the gold 50 and under. of good players. It's got to be a good player too. Like get it, a 50 of a no name player. It's it is what it is.
Yeah, but some of these parallels, they got to do a better job though. Like I would not want my favorite player on a Easter Bunny parallel.
Yeah, yeah. That video we talked about a couple weeks ago that Teapot did, where he showed the toilet paper
Yes.
parallel and Donruss. You want your toilet paper rolls with your card? I mean, I get the toilet paper roll thing came out during COVID, and that ties in with what was going on in the world then. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
You're reaching
yeah,
now. You are definitely reaching.
yeah. Short printed inserts. Um, if they're numbered, yes. Let me go back a little bit. We talked about this too, and we talked about when precious metal gems first came into the hobby, how that was a game
Best
changer.
in the business. Yep.
Super cool looking cards, truly short printed. Definitely something that was a super cool idea. Changed things when it happened. Now we were just happened to be looking at SSPs, super short prints of Julio and Ichiro card out of 2022 series
Update with Topps update.
Topps update.
Yep.
I mean, we went on eBay. There's a bunch listed on eBay right now. So there, I found a PSA 10, and there was over 100 PSA 10s of them. So I guess where does super short print? Like, where do they get calling it that? Like, what's the number? Is it a percentage of how much they printed overall that year? And they printed a lot. So a super short print, in my mind, has got to be maybe 100 or less.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what other people think of that, but I just I think super short printed or what they tag that name onto it has definitely changed.
Right.
Yeah. So man, the stuff from the '90s was freaking. There's some cool stuff, some cool short printed stuff from the '90s. I gotta go back. Okay. The last one they add on this list is like probably the most controversial. I feel like of all. Maybe. Well, what do you guys think? Print to demand. So I kind of rolled my eyes at this one a little bit because I'm like, that's. I mean, they could be printing a million of this stuff. Now I get it's really cool when they get a moment in sports history and they print a card to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think about when they did it, the 2020 Tops project, how that went down, and like how you can have a really cool card, but print to demand. So how whoever wanted it that bought it, ordered it during that certain amount of time, they printed a million of that. I think of that Ken Griffey Jr. one, that cartoon looking one that was like everyone was super excited about that, but then they ended up printing so much of that.
Yeah.
Now, if you get order these print to demands, and then you end up with a parallel, that's super cool. I don't know. I do have a friend that's really into the print to demand. They like the moments, so like when somebody gets called up or something something like that, or somebody breaks a record, and so I don't know. This is the one I'm the least excited about because I just feel like if something really cool happens, they print so many of them and it kind of loses its luster. But I guess
Yeah.
if you get a numbered one, you get lucky. You're good. So that's the end of that list of the whole innovation, the 5 innovations that changed sports
Hmm.
cards. Let us know what you guys think. That's let's see. That's all I've got on our list of talk about today. We are going to be off the next couple of weeks. We both have some things coming up. Next weekend, I'm going to be out of town for my husband's birthday, and the following week, Mr. Fuego is going to be out of town. He's doing something with his wife. So we're gonna be off the next couple weeks. I'll be posting some stuff on the channel. Maybe we'll get back at a reasonable time on Sunday, and maybe I'll still go live just to touch base with everybody. But I do want you to know the podcast will be offline for the next couple of weeks, so you guys have some fun out there. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with some baseball card news. It'll have time for new things to come out, new things to see ripped open. Maybe we'll see Topps Dynasty by then, and Topps Chrome. I don't know the official release date for that, but maybe that'll be out by then too, or closer to that. So, what else you got going on your channel, Mr. Infuego?
Well, we are doing the Baseball Card Junkies and Extra Innings tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be myself with Mike from Rippin' for Rookies. We will be touching back up on a lot of the hobby stuff we touched on today. Also, we're going to be talking about what's been going on in the sport of baseball as well. So, if you want to hang out with us then, that'd be awesome. But that's pretty. I am going to be doing a video, and I'm still piecing it together because I have not seen this type of video done before. So I want to make sure when I do it, it's worth it, if that makes sense. You know,
That sounds
basically
good.
how I'm gonna do it. And I think I brought it up to you before, but basically, I'm taking, I'm looking through all my PCs of J and A Rod, and I'm only gonna do a video of all the pop ones that I have.
That sounds sick to me. That sounds awesome. I have my first BGS grading submission going out. I'm probably going to do a breakdown on how to submit to BGS. I might it'll probably the video will probably start like that because the whole which cards I'm grading and all that. I will end up doing a video of when I send them in and when I get them back. It'll be all tied into one is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. But maybe I'll just do a video showing the whole submission process. I watched a lot of videos of it before I did it because it's my first time with BGS. I've sent tons of stuff into PSA and tons of stuff into Tag and even HTA back in the day, stuff like that. No longer grading with PSA. Gonna give BGS a try. The cards I'm sending in are all my brother-in-laws, so they're all crazy. There's not gonna be just baseball. There's gonna be some crazy basketball and football in there. There is some baseball in there too. Might save that all for the baseball for a video too. But that's what's going to be going on here. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight to the podcast. Make sure you follow both me here, Adrian, a League of Our Own on YouTube, Mr. Infuego on his channel on YouTube, Mr. Infuego, and click that notification. Stay tuned for our next videos coming out. I hope everybody has a great night, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Have a good one, everyone.